Do you ever catch yourself trying to do everything all at once? You start feeling like you're that one guy in that Limitless movie. Everything comes seamlessly and easy, and all of a sudden it feels like life is a dream. But let's be real for a second. You're not Bradley Cooper, life is not a dream, and you're definitely not getting anything done more quickly. As the years have progressed, I know that I would come to no surprise to you, dear reader, when I say that our attention spans have just gotten a lot shorter, causing us to look for a constant, quick, and easy dopamine fix. And even though the get-rich-quick schemes and the 15-minute ad programs aren't new at all, the wanting to become constantly complacent and pleasured has led us to a critical point in our human existence, forcing us to believe that we're capable of doing everything and anything whenever we want. Stop spreading yourself thin and find out what you really want to do in your life. What's up, guys? It's your boy Swermtrying, and maybe you're stretching yourself just a little bit too thin there, buddy. We're led to believe in this day and age that we don't need to have our fingers in one pie, but all of the pies. Try this or that, or maybe that. We all know that one person that tries out something new, does it for a while, starts seeing some traction, and then all of a sudden just abandons it and tries something completely different. Almost as if it was an inevitable process. And no, I'm not talking about myself, even though I do that a lot. I want you to realize that 8 million years ago, we were literal monkeys, just hopping around and doing whatever monkeys did 8 million years ago. But now we have Bezos and a 20-year-old random NSA agent, and they're all conspiring to try to sell us on one more subscription service that, guess what? We don't really need. We're constantly bombarded by the hustle mentality.
You're broke! You're fucking poor! You get rotisserie chicken for $5.
The art of picking something and actually sticking to it has become a lost art in and of itself. But I mean, how can we blame ourselves? It's been proven time and time again that loyalty at a company is never rewarded. I mean, Jesus. There are studies saying and proving that the longer you stay at a company, the less likely you are to actually be promoted. It's insane. We live in an era where everything is supposed to be fast. Fast food, fast phones, and even fast pleasure. We are starting to become slaves to our dopamine receptors.
Please bless Daddy.
Stop praying to that stork!
And it's not your personality. It's just that since birth, we're literally trained to go from dopamine riser to whatever interests us. Don't want to do music? Jump to basketball.
From Jermaine O'Neal, got a piece of it.
Don't want to watch that TikTok? Just keep swiping down. It's easy. And if you don't see success in one hobby and you feel frustrated, your parents might have told you to just quit and do something new that you actually like. And my point here is that our brains aren't really equipped for what we have going on in society nowadays. But are there any ways to actually trick our monkey brain into working for us instead of against us? Okay, so I want you to picture something for me. Use your imagination, as my boy SpongeBob would say. Mary is a single mom that works at Lumen. Kudos if you get that reference, by the way. She makes barely above minimum wage in her state and works about 8 to 9 hours a day. Let's say she makes $15 an hour, which is pretty high depending on the state, but whatever. And she's starting to not like her job because inexplicably, she gets home really tired every single day. She barely makes enough money to be able to afford rent, groceries, and her child. How are you gonna look at Mary in the eye and tell her to just hustle harder and start a side business? We're led to believe that the more things we're multitasking on, the more productive we actually are. I mean, why only attempt one business venture? Why stop there? Why don't you try to make 5 and see which one sticks? Better odds. And most likely, our knee-jerk reaction to most people in most cases will be to look at them, give them the thumbs up, and tell them to focus on their dreams. But that's just not realistic for Mary and for most people. How is she gonna focus on beauty, nature, oceans, and the waves when she's neck deep in past due bills? It makes no sense. By the way, people, if you like these little think pieces that I do every week, please make sure to like and subscribe or comment or whatever. Any interaction on these videos helps a lot more than you think. It's actually insane. These videos are a lot of work, but I love every single second of them. Back to the video. Now, maybe you're not drowning in debt, but maybe you don't have an excess of time on your hands either. So why do you keep jumping from thing to thing, searching for whatever grabs your attention? If your plate is already full, why do you keep grabbing more food from the buffet? Growth does not happen overnight. Remember, Rome was not built in a day, and whatever other shit people say. And sure, I know that if you start juggling a hobby, a side hustle, and a full-time job, it's gonna be pretty fun at the beginning. 5 days in, and you're gonna start feeling like that smiling Friends character in episode 1.
Hey, little buddy, how are you doing?
Oh my God.
Whoa, whoa,
Oh my
whoa,
God.
whoa, whoa,
Oh my God.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
The more we try to do, the easier it becomes to be physically and mentally exhausted. And I know if you're watching this, most likely the first thing you're gonna say is, couldn't be me, bro. I'm built different. But trust me, buddy, the burnout reaper comes for all of us. And by the way, I have some crazy stories about me dealing with burnout for years and years. So if any of you want to hear that, just drop it in the comments and I'll make my next video about it. But the fact that we shouldn't do everything always at once doesn't mean that we actually shouldn't try everything that we want to try in life. After all, I mean, if it's not during this life, when do you plan on doing it?
So let's go out with a bang. Let's have a laugh at your expense, shall we? Remember, they're just jokes. We're all gonna die soon, and there's no sequel. So,
Life is a fickle thing. We have to constantly battle between spending time doing the things that we love and sacrificing that time so we have more time to do the things that we love in the future. It's a very weird system that we have in place. Our fast-paced world has created a constant need for instant gratification and immediate pleasure. And by trying to constantly achieve this, we end up destroying our motivation and ultimately becoming less productive. And look, I don't have a magic pill for you to swallow, but I do have a magic idea for you to chew on. Compartmentalize. Start breaking down your goals and objectives into bite-sized pieces. I'll give you an example. If I write in my agenda, finish video, that's not very specific at all, is it? But if I write script video, now I have something to do. If you put your objectives into small bite-sized pieces, it's easier to work on them consistently. And at the end of the day, all you have to do is try. Maybe just writing things down and scribbling them in a little notebook and holding yourself accountable to what you write down is all you need in life to become successful. I've spoken about this in previous videos, but I genuinely believe that if we don't hold ourselves to realistic expectations and goals, then we're never gonna be happy with our work. But we also have to be honest with ourselves. Don't give yourselves bullshit objectives. As long as your smaller goals are working towards a big, overarching, and more complex goal, you should be fine. Every time you check off a simple task, as menial as it may sound, you're gonna receive just a little bit of dopamine in your system. It sounds psychotic, because it probably is, but if you tell yourself to do something, write it down, do it, and then cross it off the list, you're gonna feel better. I promise. Don't believe me? Try it then. Give yourself 3 days to do this, and then come back in 72 hours and tell me that you didn't feel more productive.
What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
At the end of the day, all we have to do is do what we enjoy and enjoy what we do. If you made it this far in the video, shout out to you. Why don't you comment down there, when was the last time you actually tried to do something expecting a quick and happy reward, only to just be very disappointed at the results. And remember to just enjoy the ride, no matter how bumpy it may be. Peace.
I seen me through the process. I don't really want no problems. Niggas ain't got no merit. Niggas ain't got no posture. Round here we keep shit G'd up, kick my feet up out my posse, and deposit, keep it positive.